So today we're going to be reviewing probably one of the most popular fragrances by the house of Roja Parfums. And of course I'm speaking about Creation or Enigma, depending on where you're located in the world. So if you want to hear my thoughts on this fragrance, stay tuned. Hey, what's going on guys? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel. If you are a return subscriber, glad to have you here. And if you are new, what I do is I make fragrance related content. So if you love fragrances, please just hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure to hit that notification bell and also be sure to follow my new fragrance Instagram page. All that will be in the description down below. Now, yeah, that is correct. We're going to be reviewing Creation, as you can see here. But before we get into the review, I do actually want to mention that this fragrance was sent out to me by Roja Parfums. So I just want to thank them over there for sending this one out. Be sure to check them out if you want to buy this fragrance or any of the other Roja Parfums. I'll leave their website down below. But yeah, we're going to be reviewing this one. Now, before we talk about this fragrance, I do actually want to go over some information about it. This fragrance was released in 2019, at least the Parfum Cologne, which is actually different than the original Enigma, which is an extrait de parfum. This one actually retails for $290 for the 100 ml bottle. And of course, as far as the perfumer goes, it is perfumed by Roja Dove himself, which I absolutely love. And of course, it's printed right there, a fragrance by Roja Dove. Now, of course, Roja Dove is also the owner of Roja Parfums, and he creates all of his fragrances, which I respect 100%. I think that is such a great thing. But yeah, now let's go over the packaging and presentation of Creation. All right, so going over the box, as we always usually start off with, it does come in this nice, sturdy cardboard, as you can see here, with the house Roja Parfums, Parfum Cologne, and of course, you got the Roja Dove signature, which is always great to see. And then on the back, of course, there's some information and your ingredients and stuff like that. Now, they are actually housed in England, so all the fragrances are made in England, which is cool. And now, to get over the concentration of this, of course, it says Parfum Cologne. Now, I believe what that means is that this is an eau de parfum concentration, because I remember watching a Roja Dove interview one time, and he says he doesn't want to make anything below a eau de parfum. And I think you get the cologne because he wants to make this a freshness as like of a cologne, but the longevity of a eau de parfum. So I believe that's what that is. Now the box, you push your fingers through here and it actually opens up to this nice foam where your bottle will sit. So the packaging is actually very, very, very nice, as you can see. Now let's go over the bottle. Now this is where it shines. This is the bottle here. Of course, it has this nice orangish color to it with Creation Parfum Cologne. And then on the top, my favorite is obviously the cap is like in this nice gold with the Roja Dove signature and like these bezels around it, which look lovely. And then the atomizer and nothing inside the cap there. And then of course you have on the bottom your batch code and information. Now, if you want to know what my batch code is, it says 9478CEC. If you want to look that up, you guys can do so. But yeah, so as far as the packaging and presentation goes, guys, I absolutely love it. The box is nice and also has a very nice hefty weight to it. The cap is metal, very, very heavy cap. As you can hear when you shut it. I actually didn't make a sound. Sometimes it makes it sound like it gets the glass. And yeah, so as far as packaging and presentation, I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. All right, so going over the notes of Enigma. Now, it has a lot of notes in this fragrance. The top notes you're actually gonna get bergamot. Now, in the middle notes, you're actually gonna get heliotrope, jasmine, neroli, rose, and geranium. And of course, in the base, you're gonna get cognac, vanilla, benzoin, tobacco, ginger, ambergris, cardamom, sandalwood, pepper, and of course, patchouli. Now, how this one comes across to me, let's give a first spray and show off the atomizer really quick as well. Beautiful atomizer by these Rojas. Now, yeah, that is a very extensive note listing, as you guys can tell by that. But yeah, how this fragrance comes across to me, especially in the opening, guys, you get a ton of the cognac. Very, very boozy fragrance. I know bergamot's listed in the top notes, but I don't really get that bergamot touch to this. Maybe in the background slightly, but definitely not prominent whatsoever in this. Very, very boozy, guys, with the cognac, of course. And you also get a nice creamy vanilla in this fragrance, which is beautifully blended together. Wow. And also that benzoin brings a nice sweetness to it. Now, this fragrance actually gets compared to, well, not compared, but it smells similar to like a cherry Coke or like a Coca-Cola vibe, which I get 1000%, guys, especially on the opening. You get a ton of that Coca-Cola vibe in here, like a fizziness from it. I'm not sure how they made that possible. It might be from the cognac combined with a bunch of like benzoin, sweet notes and stuff like that. But you also get tobacco in here. I believe it's like a tobacco leaf. It is very, very heavy as it dries down. Not right now, just very boozy in the opening, but that tobacco does come across in the like towards the dry down of this fragrance. Now, one of my favorite things about Roja Parfums is how well they're blended together, guys. I do own Elysium by them, which is probably one of the most complex fragrances that I've ever smelled in my entire life. I'll leave my first impression of that fragrance down below as well. You can check that out. But yeah, it definitely goes through its stages, guys. I'm talking like the top notes and middle notes and the dry down. Completely different. It changes so much. Maybe not as much as the Elysium as I remember, but it still does come across very complex. You can tell it's perfumed by a master, Roja Dove himself. Now, this one does have a lot of like florals, like the jasmine or rolling and stuff like that. I honestly don't really pick those up, to my nose at least. It's more of a darker fragrance with the tobacco, cognac, vanilla, of course. Yeah, very, very beautiful. You also have like patchouli and stuff like this. Don't really pick up on that at all. Or the rose, of course. Now the sandalwood, I maybe get the sandalwood as it dries down. Yeah, it's sort of woody in the dry down as well, but man, that opening is something else, guys. Very, very good. Very, very niche too. You can tell this stuff is of quality. Definitely. It has that Roja kind of touch to it. Because I did actually smell all of the Parfum Colognes, because he did send out a sample kit as well. Maybe I'll make a video about those if you guys are curious, but yeah, you could definitely tell this is a Roja Parfum fragrance. Very, very good. And this one is actually very classy, I would say. Like very masculine, classy, just because of how like sophisticated this fragrance is and how of quality it smells. Man, it's so good. Now, as far as seasons go, I would say rock this one in the fall and winter. You don't really want to wear this one in the spring and summer. It's very, very potent and strong, especially being boozy and tobacco-y. Yeah, stick to the colder months for Creation or Enigma, which is obviously the same fragrance, just different names, and you'll be good. Now, as far as smell goes, I'm actually going to give this one, I absolutely love this fragrance. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Let's go over and talk about the performance of Creation now. So as far as performance goes for Creation, the performance is actually very, very good with this fragrance. Actually, to be honest with you, all the Parfum Colognes from Roja that I tested, they perform above average for sure to me. Especially being, of course, that eau de parfum, and especially how it comes across like that cologne freshness. Yeah, the performance is stellar with this fragrance, guys. You will not be disappointed with the performance or wanting more from it. It definitely meets that solid middle ground as far as that goes. It will easily last you throughout a work day or pretty much throughout the whole day, if I'm honest with you. Now, it's not obviously the best performing fragrance I've ever tested, but it is very, very solid as far as that goes. So for that reason, since it does last a long time, it comes across with that freshness of like a cologne fragrance. I'm going to give the performance a solid 8.5 out of 10. Definitely not lacking in that category at all from this fragrance. It will pretty much suit you throughout the day. But yeah, so for my overall assessment for Roja Parfums Creation E, guys, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. So for the packaging, it got an 8 out of 10. Smell a 9.5 out of 10. Performance an 8.5 out of 10. I'm just going to give it a rating of 9 out of 10 for the overall. Solid fragrance. I am so happy to have this one in my collection. Many people swear by this fragrance or even their signature scent. But yeah, very, very good. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the review for Creation E. Give me a like if you did enjoy it. Comment down below if you've tried this fragrance or want to try it. Definitely curious. And yeah, subscribe if you guys haven't already. And I'll catch all you guys in the next fragrance upload. Take care, everybody.